Hi everyone, Eric from Mr. Cook Eric here. Welcome to the second part of our trip of China on an RV. These destinations are all in the Yunnan province, and let's get into it. Here's the path we're taking for this part of the trip. Our day starts by a nice breakfast on the RV that we made ourselves. Our first destination, Dian Lake. It's the biggest natural lake in all of Yunnan. We took a cable car across the river. What was interesting about this cable car was that when we went across the river, it would go up a steep mountain really fast. And this lake was huge. You can't even see the end of it from this high up. That night we stayed in a hotel and its design in the lobby was really cool. I really like the wooden elephant tusks on the side of the wall. There was even a robot in the lobby that can basically do everything except for ordering food and take you to some of the places in the hotel. 可以带你去这些地方。没事。那我就先自己玩去了，有事找我。是你问一个问题。After a night at the hotel, we went to an ethnic group village. It is a village with dozens of different ethnic groups from Yunnan. There are 55 recognized ethnic minority in all of China. Before you even went into the tourist destination, you see a lot of traditional buildings of China. These are all stores that sell things like traditional clothing and things that are made from silver like teapots, bracelets, and a lot of other things. Here is the map for this entire village. It's huge. Here are some pictures of the village. This village we are walking out of right now once used man for sacrificial purposes. One of the biggest groups in the village is the white ethnic group. They got their name by their liking of cleanness. They were the first Yunnan ethnic groups that met the ethnic group of Han, which has the most population in China. This word on the stage in the white ethnic group village actually means lucky in Chinese. On the left, it is a deer, and on the right, it is a crane. It's really interesting that it's actually created by two animals. This is the design on top of the door for a home of the white ethnic group. It contains a courtyard, bedrooms, and more. All of the dishes in the lunch we ate after the visit were all Yunnan traditional food. They were actually really yummy, especially the bamboo rice. which is basically sweet rice put into a section of a bamboo and then cooked for about 5 hours. Then it was cut open to eat. After I tasted it, my mouth was filled with the feelings of sweetness and freshness. It makes my brain crave for more bites. Our next destination was Dali. In Dali, we actually went to two places. Dali is built on the banks of the RC. It is really just the second biggest lake in Yunnan. First one is Dan Lake. The food we ate that night were mostly wild mushrooms and fungi. All of those mushrooms were freshly picked from the mountains that morning. The first destination was the Buddha temples that were called the capital of Buddhism because it is the biggest place where there are temples for Buddhas in Southeast Asia. It is really big. In ancient times, 6 out of the 8 kings that ruled Dali actually became the abbot here to bless Dali.
好大呀！
By the way, if you hear my breathing, that is because we're climbing stairs at an altitude of 6,480 feet with a mask. The mask was the worst part of it. Right outside of the temples were 3 white towers that are believed by the local people to calm a giant dragon under the ground that was causing gigantic earthquakes. For some reason, after the towers were done and they put a statue of a bird that the dragon feared on top of it, there really hasn't been any big earthquakes, although a few did hit Dali, but the towers never collapsed despite it being built without a foundation. The next day, we visited the second tourist destination, the old town of Dali. The wall here was actually from Dali in the old times. In this town, we saw something that was actually pretty cool we haven't seen before this time. This is a TV screen that is on the wall outside of a public restroom telling you which places have been taken in the restroom. Also, how many people have used this restroom since it was built. Really funny. After that, we went to go get some snacks and we drank sugarcane juice, which is a classic in China. After that, we saw someone doing what I call candy drawing. You basically have molten sugar, someone picks a shape they want, you draw out, it will cool as you draw. Then when you're done, you put it on a stick and give it to them. It's really cool. While we were walking around the town, we saw an old man that was playing something that looked like a guitar. It was called the Yueqing, or the moon piano, if you translate it directly. It looks really colorful and it's from the ethnic minority group of Yi.
这个乐琴，
哦，乐琴，
它4根弦2个音。
哦，好听。
阿老表短就来，表妹短就来，阿老表喜欢不喜欢也有火呀，阿表妹喜欢不喜欢也有火呀，喜欢你也有火，不喜欢也有火，骂你喜欢不喜欢也有火呀，骂你喜欢不喜欢也有火。
哦，谢谢谢谢谢谢，好好听啊！
它是算彝族的一种民乐，
这个刚才是不是可以跳舞的？
可以跳的这个。阿老表喜欢不喜欢也有火，喜欢你也有火，不喜欢也有火，骂你喜欢不喜欢也有火呀，骂你喜欢不喜欢也有火。
谢谢谢谢谢谢。
The morning we left Dali, we took some family photos. Our next destination, Lijiang. The place we went to is the old town of Lijiang, similar to the one back in Dali, but smaller. My mom actually had someone braid my sister's hair in the traditional way. They told my mom that usually in their culture, it means luck and happiness. They also rode horses. I didn't because I was just enjoying the town somewhere else with my dad. The fifth destination, Yulin Mountain. It was said to be a mountain covered in snow, so we went to check it out. The cable ride up the mountain was really cool. At some part, you feel like you just went into the sky and you are inside of a cloud. The wind was really strong on the cable ride. Listen to this. When we got to the top, disappointment hit us. There was basically no snow anywhere. Only cool thing was the clouds. The rock that said 4,506 meters was pretty cool. On the way down, my brother was holding onto an oxygen maker on the floor because it kept sliding around. It caused some really funny things in the RV. On that day, we stayed at a hotel in the city of Shangri-La. Shangri-La is a city that has a pretty high altitude of around 10,000 feet, but it has a sea of grassland and it is really beautiful. My dad found a place called Naba RC on the web that someone recommended, saying that it would be a great place for RV to spend the night. But when we arrived there, we left because it was not what the person described. On the way back to the main road, the road was really small, plus that we were in a big car, so when we meet with other cars, we have to maneuver really carefully to not fall off the side of the road. That rock that you just saw on the road is actually a rock pile that no one is allowed to destroy. It is a tradition of the Tibetans. Each rock piled on it means a dream, wish, or anything they think of the future that they want from someone in the local area. Basically, if you destroy it, you are destroying someone's dreams. Nobody wants that. You are going to see a lot of these on the road in places without any people even. Cows on the road, something you will see a lot starting in this part of China because they let their cows run free. After Shangri-La, we went to Tiger Leaping Gorge. The name is said to represent something physical and not physical. The physical part of it is that there is a myth saying that the tiger leaped over this 13-meter wide gorge using a rock and two leaps. The not physical one is that if you hear this water, it sounds like the roar of the tiger. Just listen to this. Here we are driving to our next destination. Our seventh and final destination in Yunnan province, Felix Temple and Meili Snow Mountain. These small white temples here are said to be towers that trap monstrous beasts, and the snowy mountains behind them, the Meili Snow Mountain, is considered the mountain of the gods by the people here. Immediately after the rain stopped, we saw so many people that were Tibetans pray here because it is a holy place and another holy place together. What's interesting is that an Austrian American botanist named Joseph Francis Charles Rock actually lived here in northwest Yunnan for over 20 years. We thought that we could stay the night here in the parking lot right next to the temples, but the security guard told us that it is no longer allowed, so we had to keep going on our journey to Tibet and find somewhere else to sleep.